An amalgamation of a successful doctor and a dancer is an enviable and rare combination. Among her many accolades, she is also the winner of the prestigious Nritya Chudamani Award. Dr. Srinidhi Chidambaram is an alumnus of Madras Medical College, from where she completed her undergraduation and her post-graduation in public health. She has been a part of the senior management of Apollo Group of Hospitals for the last 11 years. I would like to welcome Dr. Srinidhi Chidambaram to moderate our next session, Marga, the Path of Living. Also, I would request Dr. Preeta Reddy, Vice Chairperson, to felicitate the speakers on the panel.
Life begins from a tiny seed. Tiny drops of rainwater gather to make the mighty ocean. A tiny spark of light can create a huge flame. The tiny newborn of today is the superstar of tomorrow. Everything in life begins with the simple and basic building blocks that have huge impact eventually. In health too, it all begins with the simple and basic principles of a healthy lifestyle. Throughout the day today, we are going to be amazed at the depth of medical knowledge we have about cancers in women. We are going to marvel at the sophisticated heights that we have scaled in diagnosis and cure of cancers. But before that, we go back to the beginning, the basic blocks, the principles of healthy living. We have to go back to the beginning because the beginning of all non-communicable diseases also starts at that point of poor lifestyle management. And as we all know, non-communicable diseases such as cancer, heart disease, diabetes, all account for over 35 million deaths each year, of which more than 18 million are women. And all these diseases have one single risk factor: poor lifestyle management. This means inappropriate diet and physical inactivity and high stress levels. But avoiding these risk factors in the first place can really help us to be on our way to great health and avoid most of these diseases to some extent. Small changes make a huge impact to the way we live and how healthy we are. On the cancer perspective, we know that being overweight increases the risk of several cancers, including cancers of the pancreas, the bowel, the uterus, the kidney, and even the breast cancer after menopause. Stress, on the other hand, is also linked to weight gain, lack of motivation to exercise, and that indirectly affects health and also predisposes to the NCDs. Our ancient Indian wisdom suggests 3 margas or paths of bhakti, which is devotion, jnana, which is knowledge, and karma, which is good deeds, to reach ultimate bliss and salvation. But before we get there, while we walk on this earth, it is high time we added one more marga or path that will keep us healthy and well as long as we live on this earth. This is the marga or the path of healthy lifestyle. We need to make a commitment with all our self-control and willpower to follow this path diligently and embrace it each day of our life as our belief, our motto, our mantra, and our religion. How do we do this? To discuss this, it is my privilege to welcome our distinguished guests of honor who have consented to be part of this panel discussion, Marga, the Path of Healthy Living. The panel is a veritable all-star cast, a galaxy of celebrated and stunning women who are well-versed in the paths of healthy living, who lead by example, who impart this wisdom to others, and who would like to share their perspectives on healthy living and also share their own journeys of well-being and lifestyle management. May I invite Dr. Preeta Reddy, our Vice Chairperson, to come up on stage while the panelists come up to honor them. We have with us Padma Bhushan Srimati Alarmelvalli, internationally acclaimed Bharatanatyam exponent, known for her dynamic and yet poetic style, and of course, her vibrant and youthful presence on and off stage. Sangeeta Kalanidhi Srimati Sudha Raghunathan, celebrated exponent of Carnatic music, who with her stunning artistry has ignited musical imagination across languages, frontiers, and ideologies. Srimati Sudha Raghunathan. Srimati Ranjini Manian, founder and CEO of Global Adjustments, India's premier relocation and cross-cultural services company and author of several books, has synthesized the lessons learned from interacting with over 75 nationalities, sectors, cultures, and geographies to identify the essence of successful cultural interactions for global citizens. Dr. Sheila Nambiar, obstetrician and gynecologist, is also a fitness and lifestyle consultant and has trained women in wellness and fitness for the past 13 years. Her foray into wellness includes authoring 2 well-received books, Size Wise and Gain to Lose, and her program, Training for Life, is hugely popular. Dr. Sheila. I'll just finish this. Srimati Aruna Subramaniam, management consultant and trustee of the Bhumika Trust, Mahesh Memorial Trust, and co-member of NAM Foundation, passionately involved in social causes and art-related projects. No one can forget her stellar role and contribution in relief work during the recent Chennai floods. Ms. Aruna Krishnan runs 2 of the most popular and widely read magazines in South India, Rids and South Scope, and has been instrumental in shaping attitudes, perspectives, fashion, and lifestyle in South India. Madhuvanti Arun, a star edutainer with an umbilical connect with arts and education, managing trustee of Caliber Educational Foundation. Madhuvanti is also an acclaimed Bharatanatyam dancer and has a blend of skills in dance, theatre, music, and visual communication. Farzana Siraj, founder of wellness brand Orange Ray, specializing in therapeutic yoga, is an expert at combining the ancient wisdom of yoga with scientific practice as a preventive and curative measure for acute and chronic pain and posture correction, is a certified Yogacharya of the Iyengar style of yoga. We thank each one of you for being here today, and we look forward to a vibrant discussion and valuable insights on how best we can build a healthy lifestyle for ourselves in a practical and consistent manner. May this interaction help us all to get started on this Marga of healthy living. Thank you.
I have to give you one for doing this.
So welcome again to this panel. Thank you for being here. Today, as we know, we've been talking a lot about lifestyle management, and it's almost a trending topic, words like lifestyle, well-being, wellness. So I would like to first begin by asking each one of you what your definition of lifestyle or good lifestyle is. Is it really important, or are we just making too much of it? So begin with you, Madhu. Whatever.
Satgurubhyo Namaha, respected Dr. Reddy, Dr. Preeta Reddy, and all of you here at Apollo. I think to me, lifestyle is all about the mind. It starts there. And then it moves on to the body. My grandmother, Dr. Mrs. YGP, always says, you can if you think you can. So I start thinking first that I want to be healthy and happy. So I will automatically work towards being healthy and happy. And I don't think it's a far-fetched term anymore. You have to start thinking about yourself. And when I say yourself, you got to be selfish first.
Good morning, and thank you for having me here, sir, Dr. Pratap Reddy and Madam Preeta Reddy. When we talk about lifestyle, I have branched off, or rather I use lifestyle and fitness as an extension of my medical practice. And what occurs to me most of the time, because I see disease and death quite often as a doctor, what occurs to me is when people are ill, are unwell, one of the most common things they say is that they miss their healthy selves, that they wish that they had taken care. So there is an element of regret. And for most of us, I think this happens only when we lose it. It happens after we have reached that point where we have that high cholesterol, or we are obese, or we have diabetes. And I think as human beings, we all think also that we are infallible. We think we won't get diabetes, we won't, have all the lifestyle-related diseases, which is what we are here today to talk about, that most of these diseases are definitely preventable. And yes, without a healthy lifestyle, nothing is possible. For me, it is imperative to lead a balanced lifestyle, because I want to do so many things. And I think we are all capable of doing so many things, and that's only possible if we put in a little commitment to our own, to looking after our own selves, both intellectually, spiritually, physically, mentally, in every which way.
Also, please feel free to ask questions to each other so that we can get some inputs from there as well.
Sure. So, for me, lifestyle has become such an important topic. Srinidhi, thank you for including me in this panel, because our Indian life has become so stylish that we actually have to work at balancing and bringing in maybe a work-life integration, not just a work-life balance. In the corporate world, I have realized there was a recent AC Nielsen study of the most stressed women in the world. And can you guess which country came number one? India. The land of yoga, meditation, most stressed women. Somewhere this paradigm doesn't make sense to me, but that's actually the truth. I think it's because we Indian women are trying to leapfrog into the future. We can't give up our traditional Indian ways, yet we want to be on par with men everywhere in the corporate world and at home as well. And so that leads to a lot of stress in our lifestyle, and balancing this, bringing it into our work and our home is going to be such an important topic for us right now and for future generations. So I'd love to ask our yoga expert what she has to say about it, because I'm hoping that I can take some classes with you.
Much of what I wanted to say has been said by all of them, but I think essentially as a dancer, and our dance is a holistic expression which combines body, mind, emotions, psychology and spirit. It's a harmonious coming together of these. I think finding an equilibrium and a balance between the different dimensions, and we have so many varied aspects, conflicting dimensions in our lives today as Indian women, as she said, between tradition, between being part of the global world. I think it is finding that equilibrium, and one of the problems I find is that we feel there's almost an addiction to being busy. I know that, it's not just those who are economically underprivileged, but many of us feel if we don't have something to do, constantly having to do something, otherwise there's almost a sense of feeling guilty about not being busy. And I think that it happens to me when I go on holiday, I'm stressed. So I really feel that it is learning to quieten that mind, learning the fine art of occasionally at least being still and doing nothing. Chumma iru we have in Tamil, and I think great philosophers like Ramana Maharishi have said that, and I'd like to hope that at least at this point in my life, I can learn to be still in body, mind and spirit. And that is perhaps the seed with which we can begin this holistic sense of wellness.
Valli auntie, but on that account, I would not want to see you still. I need to see you dancing all the time. I'm sorry.
Namaste. Thank you, Dr. Pratap Reddy, Preeta, and Srinidhi for having given us this lovely opportunity to throw our thoughts at something which is so large in front of us and which we all need. Much of what I'm going to say is a combo of what Madhu, Ranjani and Valli have said already. What is the definition of a healthy lifestyle, and is it important is the question. I believe that it is truly a balance act between our work, our profession, and the kindness or the attention that we give to our body. Luckily, being in the profession of music, I think music has an inbuilt structure of healing the mind and body and calming the self. And hence, I don't need to take much of an attempt at trying to be still, as Valli said. Yet, I think today, all of us as women have to become aware of the fact that we need to pay attention to ourselves, both the body and the mind. The body speaks to you, the mind speaks to you, and when it does whisper, listen to it. And I'm sure that will help take away much of stress, will help us to take the steps when we need to take the steps to be diagnosed with anything, if need be. We could catch a lot of diseases at the very preliminary stage if we listened to those little whispers that our bodies, with which our body speaks to us. Hence, in just one sentence, I definitely am a votary for healthy well-being, and I think it is extremely important for every woman, why, every man, every one of us, to be attentive to ourselves and our well-being.
Thank you, Sudha. I'm not going to really repeat all that has been said by my esteemed fellow panelists, because I agree with all of that. But I just want to add a few more dimensions, and especially from the background that I come from. I think, to me, healthy lifestyle means engagement with my family, engagement with the society. Because Dr. Reddy, when he spoke about the villages that he had adopted, he said that he was looking at holistic development. So your well-being is so dependent on your environment. It is so dependent on the people around you, the family's well-being. So therefore, I would include healthy lifestyle to include an engagement with what is around you, your environment around you, the people around you, because that's going to keep you healthy. A positivity of mind, because some of these diseases are genetic, you're not going to be able to avoid it. But how are you going to combat it? It's going to come because you've stayed positive. You've learned to be positive. So for me, healthy lifestyle means not just physical, it also means staying alive to what is around you, constantly engaging with the youth, keeping up with times. That is my definition. Okay.
Ellarkum vanakkam. I know I look like this. I run South India's largest lifestyle magazine, but I love speaking in Tamil. I would like to thank the very charming Dr. Srinidhi and the very dynamic Dr. Preeta Reddy for having me over. This is a lovely panel, and I really hope that the views discussed here are helpful to the people listening. I would like to raise a few points here. One is, and this is something that I've been thinking about and discussing for a really long time. And as a publisher, I think I also have a responsibility to put this out in this forum. Every single day, I read health reports in the paper. I remember reading something that says wine is very good for women. And then a week ago, I was completely taken aback to read a report that says wine is really bad and it's linked to breast cancer. I remember reading that coffee is good, and then there was a flip-flop that was done, and there was a report that said coffee is bad. There is so much of propagation going on through the media to audiences, readers, and everyone, that I think people are really confused about what is really good and what is not. We could talk of moderation, but with varying weights, varying lifestyles, how much is really moderate? What are you supposed to eat, and how much are you supposed to eat? I am vegan. I don't know if anybody else in this panel is vegan. We're a very rare dying breed. I don't touch milk products. I don't touch sugar. I feel that a lot of products today have sugar. I have no clue why.